Me and my wife, Dahlia, lost our apartment 2 months ago and moved in with Mom temporarily. Issues began to arise between Dahlia and Mom, and I had to ask my friend, Anthony, to let us move in till I get enough money to rent out. His wife was away visiting family and he agreed, but even there, some issues started to arise. FYI, Dahlia is very shy around Anthony. She grew up in conservative home and so it's understandable, but sometimes it can be a bit much. I admit that. For example, she freaked out when she accidentally drank from his glass. She also once made a fuss when he passed by the guest's room when she was lying down and the door was open. Thankfully, Anthony was super understanding and we were able to talk some of these issues out. Last night, Dahlia was passing the hall and noticed a framed picture of Anthony and his wife kissing hanging on the wall. She told me about it and said it made her uncomfortable. She asked if I could speak to Anthony about it, but he didn't take it well. He gave me a look when I spoke to him and said this was bonkers, because first of all, his wife put it there. And second of all, the picture holds sentimental meaning to him and his wife, and argued that it wasn't some explicit picture of them, just a normal wedding kiss. We started arguing and he said that it wasn't like it was hanging in the living room wall or a perfectly lit room. I asked him to be a little more considerate because it's not like I asked him to remove it completely, just move it elsewhere that Dahlia won't reach, or keep it off the wall till we leave. He said he was sorry but still refused. I explained how Dahlia was feeling, but he said that again, he was sorry but would not move the picture. We argued some more and he said that it's his house and that I was being pushy and kind of too comfortable to make such demand and be pushy still. This morning, Dahlia refused to even come out of the room until the picture is moved. Anthony is refusing, which makes it worse. Now I feel like I'm getting stuck between a rock and a hard place. Yes, she might just be overreacting, but I feel like this isn't such a big ask for Anthony to decline and turn down. For what it's worth, if it were me, I'd go the extra mile to make sure my guests are comfortable. Anthony has been a friend of mine for 10 years. I wouldn't have asked to move in with him if I didn't have such strong bond with him. He himself constantly talks about all the things and situations I helped him out with, and we are considered brothers. In my 20s I had a one-night stand with this guy, Nathan, and got pregnant. I first thought of having an abortion, but Nathan had come from a conservative religious background, not Christian, and wanted the baby, so we made a deal. I would give birth to the child and sign away my parental rights. My name is not even in her birth certificate, it's a possibility in my country, and he would pay all the medical expenses plus some extra for my troubles. That's what we did, and didn't keep contact after his daughter was born. A few weeks ago, a friend of mine who has the same religion as Nathan sent me a post from her temple's youth group. They were asking for donations for the homeless, and one of the girls from the picture looked a lot like me. I searched for her profile and found out that she had Nathan's surname and had the right age to be the baby I gave away. She's 17 now and seems to be doing fine. She is involved in charity work, apparently loves music, and has lots of pictures with friends and family. Nathan, his wife and half-siblings. I never wanted nor want to be a mother, but I became curious to know more about this human I put in the world, so I texted Nathan's old phone number, which he has not changed, and asked if he would allow me to meet his daughter, since I gave birth to her and everything, and made my intentions clear. I do not want to interfere with his family, just to know her. He then wrote a long text which comes down to the fact that I am an asshole for wanting to know his daughter now after I abandoned her, and that this meeting would only mess up with her head. I told him I was telling him out of courtesy because soon the girl will be an adult and be able to choose herself if she wants to meet me. He then blocked me. Am I being the asshole here? I don't think there is any harm in meeting my daughter. She already has a great family and it would only be beneficial to her to know about her own history. But maybe I am not seeing the full picture. I have been dating my boyfriend for a little over 2 years now, and I'm 7 months pregnant. Last week we went to his sister's wedding. I'm not super close with most of his family, but we grew up in the same town, so I knew a lot of the people who were at the wedding. I haven't told a lot of people about my pregnancy. I've had a lot of anxiety about miscarrying throughout it, so we decided to only tell close friends and family, and when I post on any social media I wear baggy clothes and pose so that my bump is hidden. I wore a loose-fitting dress to the wedding, but it was still very obvious I was pregnant. Because I've been keeping my pregnancy pretty hidden, it was a lot of people's first time seeing me pregnant, and I had people coming up to me pretty much all night congratulating me. I could tell his sister was upset about it, so I tried to downplay it when people came over, but there wasn't much I could do about it. The day after the wedding, my boyfriend's mom called him pissed off that I wouldn't say anything to people beforehand because I took the attention away from his sister all night. I feel bad for his sister, but I don't think I should have to make a pregnancy announcement before I'm ready, and I'm not sure how I could have told people beforehand aside from calling up the entire guest list, which is just ridiculous. My boyfriend is on my side, but his mom, sister, and apparently a lot of his other family meme her are upset with me. Am I in the bad here? A girl at my school is a fat positivity activist on TikTok. She films herself eating, twerking, and making the fat on her butt jiggle for the camera while saying how in love with her body she is. She also says all the time that being fat is an honor and beautiful. This is important for later on. For a public speaking assignment in class, she wrote about how modeling should be illegal because the models in Fashion Week are skinny and tall, and they look like freaks and not like normal girls. And they make everyone feel uncomfortable watching them. The whole assignment was about speaking calmly and effectively, but she was speaking very angrily and aggressively. I'm pretty sure her whole speech was just directed at me because it's known at school that I walk in Fashion Week, and she was weirdly staring me down during the speech. For the audience counter-argument part, the teacher then asked me what I thought of the arguments since I walk in Fashion Week. I said I thought it was all pretty ridiculous. Of course, the girl and her girls came up to me and my friends at lunch and said that I'm eating fruit salad because I have disordered eating, which I don't. She then said you're only allowed to walk because you're tall and skinny, just so you know, in a derogatory way. I said, and you're not allowed to because you're short and fat. What's your point? She yelled, and the mask is off. I was just waiting for you to show your bigotry and insult me. However, if being fat is an honor and beautiful as she always says, I don't see how stating she's fat is an insult or bigoted. I would be pissed if someone called me fat, but that's because I don't see it as an honor, and she supposedly does. My wife is pregnant with our first bio child. We tried to have a baby in our 20s, went through fertility treatments, and nothing worked. This pregnancy was a huge surprise and is a high-risk pregnancy. My wife is 20 weeks now. My brother and Asael have 3 kids, aged 5, 8. Sister-in-law was pregnant again this summer and had a miscarriage at 21 weeks. They were obviously devastated and we felt awful for them. My sister-in-law talks about her miscarriage a lot, which is understandable. But it has been making my wife really anxious, so I first asked my brother if he and sister-in-law, can just stop bringing the miscarriage up in front of my wife. He said sure, and stopped, but Asael didn't. So I asked her too, and she said that she will try. She didn't stop. Yesterday they came to visit us with the kids to stay a couple of days for Halloween. At lunch, my sister-in-law said to my wife, 20 weeks now, huh? I remember feeling the baby at 20 weeks. Sadly we lost him at 21-inch and my wife had a panic attack. We, wife and I, left the room, and I came back 30 minutes later and just lost it at my sister-in-law. I told her to just for once shut the hell up about her miscarriage. I feel like an ass, really. Am I the asshole?